keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Sign off in the chat, guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Let's see. Bitcoin currently trading at $89,470. We are chilling. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, Bitcoin down 0.14% on the day, currently trading at 89,470 and 79 cents, struggling to get above 90K meaningfully. We did briefly for a quick second. That just shows just how fast it can happen. We did get above 91K, which was interesting. Quick, a lot of selling pressure for sure. So there's definitely a struggle, and we're heading into the weekend with weekend liquidity. So I'm not expecting any crazy moves in the short term. But we've seen crazy things happen on the weekends. Interesting. The liquidation heat map looks different. 89.12. Let's see. It looks very different. Normally, what we saw yesterday for the liquidation heat map is what we normally see for Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday is when we get a break. 93.53. So it's interesting to see that be different today. I guess we'll go up here, 92,683. And the very bottom, we've got, I'm going to go right here, 86,682. All right. Yeah, Bitcoin's been super sideways ever since the, I'm going to call it the recovery from, I don't know, the deal framework for Greenland. Pickle Rick said, "Sup, JJ? It wasn't letting us chat? Really? Like at all? Let me see. It says subscribers, 5 minutes. Should I change it to anyone? I'll change it to anyone. You guys should be good now, I think. Turned off subscriber only mode. Anyone can send a message." All right, yeah, we'll probably not do that ever again. Okay. Live chat. Yep, we're good to go. So yeah, Bitcoin kind of been stuck in this weird range. It's been very quiet. RSI is grinding up too, which is interesting. We are sitting above the moving average on the RSI, but there's really nothing else going on. We have a red dot on the momentum wave on Market Cipher with negative money flow, and we're kind of right in the middle here. It looks like it's starting to curl down, so we'll see what happens. Pickerisk said, "I couldn't say anything, and I've been subscribed for months." I'm not sure why that happens. Subscriber. Yeah, it says only channel subscribers of 5 minutes or longer can send messages. Must be something on YouTube's end. Red dot on the momentum wave point to the downside. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. It's weird to me that the liquidation heat map looks so strange. G Immortal said, "Sup JJ? What's going on, G Immortal?" Yeah, this is so different from what we're used to. I don't know if we got the weekend liquidity set up yesterday and we ate through the bears during today and the bulls. That's what, like, it looks like we got the big cloud right here and then the big cloud to the downside right here. So maybe there's just nothing left. That's so strange. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin dominance 59.84. Another seeming rejection at 59.9. That'll be the second, potentially the third if you want to count that wick, or even the fourth if you count that wick too. But we are still grinding up. We'll see if we end up breaking above 60%. What's interesting to me today, I'm going to skip around a lot. DXY, huge dump on the DXY. This is very, I don't know, telling of something to come. We were seeing tremendous strength in the DXY, and it was getting a little bit concerning because usually when the DXY does good, crypto, at the very least, crypto does not do good. So this dump is quite exciting. We got big fat red candles. This one most recently is 0.83 down to 97.45. If we break below this trend line, that will be crazy because this trend line goes back pretty dang far. This is a 2011. That is a, what is that, 10, 15? This is a 15-year trend line that we are lingering at the bottom of on the DXY. So breaking below that would could be an argument for a super cycle. I don't want to be copium guy today. It is Friday. It's DCA day, so we're going to try to not be copium because I don't want you guys to DCA into copium and then get wrecked. But if this breaks on the DXY, then something's going to happen as far as assets go. X221 said, JJ, I poi my USDC into PaxG. Thoughts? Smash the like. Poi is put. Okay, I put my USDC into PaxG. Isn't that gold? I think that's a great idea. What if I said my dumps exciting sometimes too? Exciting dumps. Speaking of exciting dumps, I'm a big proponent of bowel health because nothing would be more, I don't know, devastating to me than butt cancer. So, personally, excuse me, I had to die for a moment. Personally, I take tremendous care of my bowel movements, and I had a picture perfect bowel movement the other day. I was very excited about it. You know the pictures that you see on like Facebook or Twitter where they're like, this is what your poop looks like when you're dehydrated, when you're constipated, when you have diarrhea, and when you have the perfect poop. And I got the perfect one. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, for real. Waterfly said, get checked. Guys, get checked. Let the doctor stick his finger up your butt. It's okay. It's not gay. Okay. You know what would be really messed up? Is if you went to the doctor and the doctor was like a super duper flamboyant homosexual man. I think I would leave. I have nothing against gay people. There's so many gay people in my life. Like genuine people that I consider very good friends of mine. But I would not get a colonoscopy from a homosexual doctor. I just wouldn't. Now a female? I don't know. I think that depends. We're getting way sidetracked. I apologize. I'm so sorry. This is a family-friendly show. Sometimes. The XY 97.45. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if we touch this or break below. Breaking below would be crazy. That would be insane. Waterfly said get checked. Oak Tree said scan the F up. Go check Toon chart. Pickerick said how old do I have to be, and can I do it 4 times a month? John said I ain't checking. I eat chia seeds and aloe vera leaf. Oak Tree said love you JJ. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I mean, why does that matter? Adam and Eve made multiple of every gender. I did not mean to say that the way that I did, but I'm not going back and fixing it because that's hilarious. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get in so much trouble. All right, we're going back to Bitcoin. Let's go take a look at Pax Gold. Pax Gold to Tether. Yeah, this looks great. I don't know. I guess converting your USDC to this the way that it is right now, I don't have the balls to do that, but it is on a tremendous, monstrous, like explosive rally to the upside. So you're probably genuinely making a good move. I wouldn't touch it personally. There's bearish div. If you get a rejection, then you're really going to set up that bearish div. You got red dots galore. I would rather just collect whatever stupid little yield Coinbase offers on USDC and leave it there. That's just me personally, though. Waterfly said canceled. Waterfly, I should have been canceled so long ago. I've said a bunch of words. The R word. I use gay sometimes in a derogatory way because I was born and raised in the 90s and it didn't mean anything to do with gay. Pickerick said Eve won't let him touch her third eye. Or, oh man, what's that from? That's from something, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. Exponential growth, it looks good. Your RSI is overbought on the 4-hour time frame, so exercise caution. But gold is on a crazy run. Gold and silver, precious metals are just doing really good, so it's kind of crazy. What if I said R word? Retard? Yeah. Yes. What did... There was something that... Oh! It was Linus Tech Tips. He was on a podcast, and the guy interviewing him was like, we've never said something with a hard R. And for some reason, Linus thought that he was talking about retard. And the guy was talking about hard R on the N word. And Linus was like, I use a hard R all the time. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah. And then he's like they kept talking about it for like a minute. The guy's like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. I didn't know anything about this. And then the guy's like, no, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm talking about the N word. And the guy's like, no, I'm talking about retard. And he's like, oh, okay. He was just like, I use a hard R all the time. Everyone was like, whoa. It was crazy. That's a good clip though. If you haven't seen it, you can literally like watch Linus's career flash before his eyes as he realizes what he's saying. What if I said my grandkids are retarded? It's okay. I feel like we all are. I think that's the discovery that's been made recently is that everyone's retarded, which is fun. There's a guy that has a whole philosophy. He's like, if you just are retarded with everything, you will succeed in life. And it's pretty good. I think it's called retard maxing. Anyways, we're getting distracted. Bitcoin we talked about. Let's go take a look at ETH. Currently trading at 0.04 in the green, 29.57 and 70 cents. We got wicks in both sides. A lot of wicks to the downside, indicative of some serious buying pressure. This wick right here today is the only thing that was an anomaly. We got a lot of buys. We pushed up, and then it just instantly erased. I don't know if it's trapping bears or bulls. Weekend liquidity. There's something weird going on in the charts, especially with the liquidation heat map looking so different on Bitcoin. This is, Bitcoin leads the market. We all know that. We're not ignorant to that fact. So the fact that the liquidation heat map looks so different compared to what it normally looks like on the weekends, maybe telling of something different to come. I don't know. I'm fully positioned, ready and waiting. The same as I have been for years, so I don't plan on changing that this weekend. What's cool about ETH is we got this lower trend line that we're riding, and we're really, really holding that, which is awesome. This trend line goes back to, not that far actually, right here, November of last year. So not too far, but this is our third hit, and 3 hits to the downside usually results in a pretty significant move up. So we'll see if that's what we get out of it. We also got potential double bottom set up right here as well. RSI looks good. We got a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. Oh my gosh. Oops, there we go. We got a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI January 21st and have held above that ever since. Unconfirmed green dot on market cipher, green dot on the momentum wave pointing to the upside, and negative money flow since January 20th. So we'll see if this flips anytime soon. Green is good. Let's see what happens. Solana is at 0.02% on the day. We are below the neckline on Solana. So that's something to keep an eye on for sure. We are kind of doing the thing that we've seen 1,000 times where we get the double bottom. It might be Adam Eve. We might end up with a lower low. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on it for sure. Volume could be a little bit better. We are heading into the weekend as well, so I don't expect that to improve anytime soon. But the liquidation heat map looks different, so maybe the volume playing out will be different as well. RSI just got a bearish cross over the moving average, so we might be in for some downside unless that gets back above that. We got a red dot in the momentum wave on Market Cipher as well. Money flow's been negative since the 18th, so downside is definitely on the table. Whether or not it plays out is going to be up to the chart, obviously. But it does, to me, I see this, where you get the spike, and then you get the liquidation, and then the continuation. And that's the beautiful Adam Eve playing out, spike, liquidation, continuation. I don't know if that's what's going to play out, but that's what I see just with the naked eye. Total 3 is down 0.08% on the day. Fractal, kind of decoupled. It's really, neither of these look good. But I'm going to leave them on there. Maybe we do recouple. Who knows? Price, or I guess level, 843.32 billion. We're above 800. Well above 800, which is awesome. My 800 billion was my slightly bullish guess. So if this is the bear market bottom, my slightly bullish guess for the bear market bottom was that 800 billion level. And we touched it perfectly right back here on December 18, 19. Bounced off of that and have continued to trend up ever since. So far, we are in higher low territory on total 3. So the potential is there for us to continue to the upside. We got lower low, followed by higher low. That could be an inverse head and shoulder setup as well, which could absolutely send us into the stratosphere. I would be totally okay with that. ADA is down 0.31% on the day. Currently trading at 35.93. We were losing 36, but we're kind of struggling sideways. Very much flat. Like I said, we got wicks going to the downside, so indicative of some buy pressure. But then we got upside wicks here too, indicative of some selling pressure. So they're just consolidating price right here in between 30 and 40. We do have a confirmed green dot on Market Cipher right here at the Pico bottom. And bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI. We'll see if that fulfills. Red dot on the momentum wave, negative money flow. So more downside than upside as far as indicators go. SNAC is up 0.28% on the day, currently trading at 0.0007278. Can we get back above 7772? Hopefully. As of right now, these are the lowest candle body closes we've had in a very, 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 very long time. So I would hope that a recovery would come soon. If not, then it's getting pretty ugly out there for SNAC. RSI got a bearish cross over the moving average in the RSI on January 22nd, yesterday. And red dot on the momentum wave coincides with that bearish cross. Almost oversold. Actually, we are oversold on that on the momentum wave. So let's see if that recovers. Midnight is up 1.73% on the day, seemingly bouncing off of 5455. It's currently sitting at 0.0566. So let's see if we can get our way back up to 6.4 and break above that. We've been really struggling. Definitely trading in this range between 5.4 and 6.4. RSI is about to cross bullish over the moving average. We got a red dot on the momentum wave, negative money flow for a very consistent period of time. So that would, flipping would be a good thing. XRP is up 0.05%. Giovanni said, "What up, gang? What's going on, Giovanni?" 1.92 on the price. Struggling here as well. Wicks galore. There's a lot of indecisiveness in this market for pretty much every single altcoin right now. Nobody knows if they want to buy or sell. What I like about this, I suppose, is that the volume increased substantially. Hopefully the weekend volume doesn't kind of die off like it does every single time. Pretty much point out every single weekend here, but we'll see what happens. We're sitting between 184 and 196. As long as we hold above 190, kind of leaning towards the bullish side, but we'll see what happens. We haven't quite retested this breakout, so we got an excuse to come down further if we need to. Giovanni said, all memes are effed for the time being. But if we ever get that euphoria phase, even small $10 buys can become $100. Tishu said, Yo, Ben says that when metals top and go down, crypto will likely go down too, so we can see lower crypto prices. Did you see that? Thoughts? I did not see that. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with him. I like the rotation better than just downside. I don't see if metals pumping does not pump the crypto market, then metals dumping shouldn't dump the crypto market. You know what I mean? And if retail is truly gone, then who's going to be dumping crypto for what? Because metal is dumping? That doesn't really make sense to me. But he's got the charts in the brain, so who knows? Speaking of metals, silver up 7.38% on the day. It blasted past $100. I had a poll on my X account, and I asked everybody on X what hits first. This was January 22nd, so yesterday. I said, what hits first, $5,000 gold or $100 silver? The vast majority, 80%, we got 5 votes. So, what, 4 people voted $5,000 silver? Or $5,000 gold? Yeah, $5,000 silver. And $100 silver was only 1 person. And embarrassingly, the vast majority was wrong, which is usually what happens in all cases. Silver absolutely decimated $100. Didn't hesitate, didn't hit it and retrace. There was no dramatic pullback, no bear trap, no bull trap, no bull crap. It literally smashed through $100 and is currently sitting at $103.26. I have no words. It just kind of blowing everyone's minds right now. Incredibly overbought, but with silver that does not matter. Number go up, and you guys know that we like number go up. Tishu read that. Mr. Roberts said, hey, Giovanni. Giovanni said, hearing Ben say, welcome to the precious metal verse was hilarious. Mr. Roberts, how you doing? Mr. Roberts said, good man, Hugh. All right, let's go take a look at gold. Gold. Ooh, 49.83. Did it? It has not hit 5K yet. Current high on gold is 49.90. It's going to hit 5K within the next 12 hours, I bet, which is pretty crazy. Does it trade on the weekends? We do have a confirmed red dot back here, which I'm assuming played out kind of meaningless on gold, to be completely honest. Tishu said, you thought silver would top at 70 range, am I correct? I thought that, so what happened with silver is basically what I said would happen. We hit 77 and we cooled off. I didn't say it would top. I just said we were going to have a reaction there. And then we actually used that as a springboard to continue. And I said $100 before the end of January. And we did that as well, which is pretty sick. I think we're at a point now where it'd be stupid to bet against it. If it was going to top, I would have assumed it would have been around 77. But I think I said the same thing around 52. JJ's target before something happens, but what? The crazy parabolic move to $100? Look at that. That is a 100% move right there, by the way. Silver's up 100% since November, December, January. 2 months. 2 months. Silver's up 100% in 2 months. Hello? That's crazy. PAXG is at 5K already. Interesting. I think that that's because the global market is 24 hours, essentially. And silver, we know that physical silver was already well above $100 in like Japan or I don't remember, Korea, something like that, like weeks ago. So I think it was kind of obvious that we were going to hit $100 on silver because it was already there. I do thoroughly enjoy, I don't know if it's true, but I thoroughly enjoy the concept of these banks shorting, like giga shorting silver and then getting completely shafted. It's literally GameStop all over again. That's exactly what's happening. We've memeified precious metals, and not in a negative way, in a very positive way. GameStop stock is, in my opinion, what spawned the meme coin craze. Because everyone looked at GameStop, they were like, oh my gosh. And then, I don't know about you guys, when the GameStop thing happened, I learned about crypto. And I started looking into crypto, which is what everybody else did. Everybody looked into crypto, and then we're all doing stocks in crypto. And we've done the same thing this time, just with silver and gold, precious metals. And number go up because of that. When we work together, we can do anything. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Waterfly said silver's blowing my mind. Yeah. It's up 7.38% today. You know how much money that is? Silver's market cap compared to Bitcoin is just dwarfs Bitcoin. I think there's a metric maybe in the news segment that somebody explained silver has added like 1.5 Bitcoin's market cap in just the past couple of months, which is insanity. So I'm just impressed. Avalanche down 0.08% on the day, currently trading at 12.12. Are we going to linger until February, beginning of February? We'll see. We're still in our little range. If we break down, probably calling the fractal an end. And honestly, I think if we continue to break down further with crypto, we're probably entering a 12-month long bear market. Chainlink up 0.25% on the day, 12.25. We are below 12.39. Same thing with this. If this thing goes probably below 12, I'm gonna call it 12-month long bear market. Maybe I'll be wrong. That's not, I'm not going to change my strategy because of that or anything like that. I'm not going to sell and wait for October, I'm just going to be here. And that's it. Monad, nothing really crazy to look at, to be honest. Just silver and gold. Snapping necks and cashing checks. DXY. DXY is probably the most impressive to me because when's the last time we had a pretty hefty dump like this? It's been a while. Since August of 2025? That's pretty crazy. We haven't had a move this big since August. And even then, before that, there was like nothing. We got to go all the way back to like April. Tishu said, here you go. What is it? Company's market cap. Mr. Rubber said, JJ, I sold my OO today. I still have NB, MP, and Eura, but OO was getting toppy. I'll get back in again if we get a handle on that cup. Okay, let's go take a look at energy fuels. Does this include natural gas? Is this like an ETF? Because I know natural gas exploded recently, which really peeves me because the reason I brag about having my home heated by gas because it's cheaper than electricity. If electricity becomes cheaper than gas, then they're gonna be mad at me for rewiring some shit in this apartment. Let's go see what Tishu showed. Oh my gosh, it's bright. Oh yes, we've seen this. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. My favorite was the alerts going back and forth while silver was like diddling Nvidia. Every other day they're like, silver crosses Nvidia's market cap to become the second most valuable asset in the world. And then they never said when Nvidia topped silver. They would just say the next day, silver crosses Nvidia to be like every time because it would cross and then it would come back down, up, back down, up, back down. They said it like 3 or 4 times. I remember there was a week where we were talking about that. Mr. Rubber said, no, it's not ETF, just a single company. Okay. Are they affiliated with natural gas at all? Oops. Okay, so Bitcoin's number 8, man. Bitcoin's getting destroyed. Where's ETH? We got Meta. I don't know what TSMC is. It's familiar though. Berkshire Hathaway, Vanguard, S&P 500 ETF, Tesla, Eli Lilly, Walmart, Platinum, Samsung, Visa, Vanguard. Platinum's pretty far. Where's copper? AMD. Is Intel above AMD? I don't think it is. Palantir, Palladium. There's Ethereum, number 43. Okay, that's pretty good actually. I like Home Depot where it's at. We do like Home Depot. Agricultural Bank of China. Coca-Cola, United Health, General Electric, Cisco, Caterpillar, AstraZeneca, Morgan Stanley, Novo Nordisk, IBM, PetroChina, Hermes, that's a cute name, Bank of China, L'Oreal, really? That's number 76? Damn, that's impressive. Royal Bank of Canada, Nestle. This is, I feel bad, but Royal Bank of Canada just sounds like an oxymoron to me. I don't know. Is that rude? I thought Nestle was much larger than this. Salesforce, that's a funny name. Lind, I was going to buy some Lind, and I think I should have because they probably benefited tremendously from the natural gas spike. What else? Walt Disney, 100, okay. PepsiCo. Dude, I'm sorry. I feel like you guys are gonna judge the shit out of me for this, but I don't care because I'm proud. I I shouldn't say this, I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm going to anyways. Are you ready? Might be my most controversial take ever. I prefer Pepsi to Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola is okay, and I think Pepsi is delicious. I'm not going to take it back either. That's who I am. That's how I feel. And if you guys have a problem with it, then I don't care. Okay. Mr. Barber said, not as far as I know, just rare earth. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, Energy Fuels had me with the words. Giovanni said, JJ, no, it's too late. I said what I said. Okay, so here's my question, Mr. Roberts. I have no question. Never mind. Forget I said that. Coca-Cola Zero for life. I didn't even drink pop, but when I do, I drink Pepsi. Waterfly said I prefer RC. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's talk about this because I love RC Cola. I adore RC Cola. It was 89 cents for forever. They eventually ended up having to change it, but I used to rum and Coke was my go-to drink. The Coke was a RC. It was RC and rum, and that was not because I drank RC and rum. It was because my stepdad drank RC and rum, and that was what we had. And I drank RC and rum, and it was delicious, and it's still delicious. It still holds up to this day. You cannot beat RC Cola, except Pepsi. But RC for the price, bang for your buck, ooh, it's perfect. Hits the spot. Mr. Roberts said unsubscribe. Fine. Risket said gold to silver ratio under 50 for the first time since 2012. Damn. Jay Shear said, sup family? What's going on, Jay Shear? Butterfly said RC used to be served at Yankee Stadium back in the day. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. If we had a time machine, I would literally just go back in time and tell myself to buy Bitcoin. We're getting off topic again. Mr. Roberts, I feel like I fully support your decision. I do. I recently cleaned up my stock portfolio, and I think I announced it in the channel. If you guys haven't already joined the Discord, who's your daddy said took away my chat? Did you, JJ? I fixed it. The stock channel in the Discord is a great channel, and I did announce there that I bought some Roblox because it pulled back, and I fumbled this. I mean, it's actually on the chart still. So I originally bought Roblox. Are you ready? This is so devastating, and I hate talking about it, but I feel like it's important. I originally bought Roblox at $35. So mad. And then it was down here. I bought it at $35, and it just was $35 for forever. This is why I refuse to sell. This is literally the reason. Roblox was $35. I'm actually going to go all the way back here. For approximately 950 days. That's 3 years, bro. For 3 years, I held this shit. Nothing happened. I got mad and I sold, and then it exploded. It went up to $160 at one point, $150 at one point. So I fumbled a potential 325% stock trade, which is a huge trade. That is an astronomical trade. So now, in order to further punish myself, I've decided to pay twice what I paid for this back here, and I jumped back in at $75. And it goes back to the Warren Buffett thesis. He always said he never would buy a company, and he uses the word company and stock synonymously. He said, I would never buy a company that I don't understand. I understand Roblox. And so I bought some. Kids swipe mom and dad's credit card and buy Robux all day long. They play that shit every single day. And it's universal. It's free to play. It's accessible. They're like doing events all the time. They're partnering with like big box stores to like make Walmart in Roblox. They have an IKEA in there. I think Kanye West did a freaking concert there one time. Like every other day there's a different celebrity doing a concert or something there. I think $75 for Roblox is a no-brainer. I also fumbled, are you ready? The other one that I fully understand is Reddit, and I bought it at launch. And then I got impatient with this too. Oh god, is that how much I paid? and now it's $218. So that was at the same time. It was about the same time that I fumbled Roblox. I'm now at a point where I refuse to sell literally anything. If I buy something, I'm never going to sell it unless it's like more than what I paid for it significantly. If I bought something though and it's just sideways or even down, that's, oh well, that's a donation at that point. Lesson learned. Tisha said, I liked Pepsi better in the 90s, but I feel something changed and like Coke better now. Something somewhat like Pepsi still, but rarely drink it since it's not good for you. I mean that for both. Okay, so here's the thing. I believe your body literally, like every 7 years, your body completely like changes. I don't know the science behind it. It's something to do with like your immune system or something like that. So that makes sense. I used to adore Dr. Pepper. Cannot stand it now. I take a little sip. I'm like, well, I used to like Dr. Pepper. I sip it, and then I'm like, oh, it's like syrup. It's way too much. Same thing with root beer. I think people just change and their taste buds change and shit gets different. So right now, I like Pepsi. A couple years, I might not. Yeah, DXY dumping. I think this is bigger news than people think it is. I don't think I've seen anybody even talking about this. We were watching this thing grind up and we were getting worried that it was going to cross 100. It didn't even get there. It rejected 99.5 and just plummeted, like giga dumped, which is huge. Giovanni said, oh shit, here we go again. Derek said, hello JJ. What's going on, Derek? That's why I'm not giving up on ALB. Let's go take a look at Albemarle. This? Damn, I wouldn't give up either. This looks great. Look at that. See what I mean? This, like, someone looked at this in hindsight, they'd be like, this is an backwards cup and handle or something like that. In reality, if you were watching this fold out, like if you hadn't seen this yet, if this was not on the chart, you would say, oh my gosh, it's a lower low. It's gonna just keep going down. And then it would not do that. It would do lower low, lower low, lower low, and then skyrocket. Everybody's loading up on shorts at the Pico lows. Oh, it's a lower low, so you got to short it because it's going to go down. The lower low narrative, I think, is the biggest psyop in cryptocurrency. I figured it was something else. Alien base. Is that a meme coin? I don't know. I need more context. All right. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. Again, I don't know who authorized this logo change, but they fumbled it really, really hard. Like, this is a hard fumble. Tell me this is not Big B Coffee. That logo right there is Big B Coffee with a circle around it. I don't know who picked the orange. These people get paid as well. They get paid to do this. Tom Sellerscoat said, it's not actually 7 years, but that's what everyone says. And it has to do with cells dying and new ones regenerating. Okay. Well, I actually didn't know that it's not actually 7 years. That kind of upsets me now. Because I've been doing the math. I'm like, oh, when I turned 21, like everything got different. And then when I turned 28, everything got different. And I was like, the next one is, what is the next one? 28, 35? Yeah. So I was like fully ready. I was like mentally preparing myself to like not like any food at 35 again. Thank you for ruining that for me. I would have been so confused. I would have been like, why do I still like all this stuff? John said, thanks, JJ. I swapped out of PAX G. I mean, you don't have to swap out. That's entirely up to you, man. Don't do anything based on decisions that I make or things that I say. Derek said, it's a base dex similar to Aerodrome. It's every 8 years. Is it every 8 years? Oh, God. Tom Sellerscout said, oh, shit, JJ. You fumbled the bag. Now you look stupid. Oh, shit, JJ. Dang. All right. What are we doing? Alien base, similar to Aerodrome. Is it on Dex Screener? I cannot type anything, dude. It is on Dex Screener. Alien base. Okay, it's on base. It's up 2.88% on the day. 2 year, 28 days. 2 year, 5 months. Let's go with that one. Alien base token. Alien base Dex. Oof. Here's my issue. Here's the issue that I'm going to have. I bet you it's on CMC. I bet you they have a unlock schedule. Number 5,049. Market cap max. Okay, they do have a max supply. That's good. Here's the other issue. They've only released 43.33%, and it's like it's bottoming out. Like they got a lot more to go. Right, where is it? Do they not have it published? Sneaky bastards, they don't. That's actually really messed up. So, the top 10 holders hold 59.55% of the supply. Now, that could be centralized exchanges. Let me see, because usually that's the case if you have a lot of distribution like that. No, it's not even listed on any centralized exchanges. So you got a sketchy quantity of the supply held by the top 10. Okay, hang on. If this is the liquidity protocol, 48.51%, it's not. Who is that? That's crazy amount. Maybe it's like maybe it's a DAO or something. Holders, top holder. Okay, contracts, all four. Okay, there you go. So you got to verify that this is a contract. That's what this little paper symbol is. This is a contract holding 48.51% of this $3 million value. That's good. I guess I don't know why the price is so suppressed then. Sell it all, it's going to zero. It might not be. It actually, the metrics don't look bad. If you actually look at it and you see that the top holders are contracts, it's not bad at all. This top 4 are contracts, then you got somebody with 57K. See, that's the problem, is the liquidity is so spread. There's so many different variations. Because you got liquidity here, 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 here. I don't know why they have so many different versions that you can buy with different liquidity. That's crazy. Here's 424K. This is probably the official one. Holders. Yep. Okay, that's the liquidity pool. 305K. 424. This is another contract, 4 contracts. So this guy right here is 57K. Okay, yeah, the distribution's not bad. It's just not going anywhere. Reese said, yo, what's going on, Reese? Gang is all here. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Oh, I was going to do a poll. Now that everybody's here, we can do a poll. Let's do the poll. What was the poll going to be? The poll. What was the poll going to be? Derek said I made some decent money off liquidity pools. Yeah, there's definitely money to be made for sure. NASDAQ up 0.25. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the NASDAQ. This is exciting. It's playing out very similar to what we said it was going to do. For some reason, I pointed to here and I said Thursday, Friday. This is literally like in a week or two. This is like a week or two away. So I definitely fumbled the timeline aspect of my little hand-drawn fractal, but I do still like the shape and where it landed. Maybe it plays out a little bit faster. Regardless, the idea is that we get a pump, a dump, almost retrace entirely with a little, maybe higher low, and then a continuation of the upside. So we'll see what happens. This is also directly reflected off of the Kobe SE Letters tariff playbook. So that's the thing. Oh, I wanted to talk about copper. Copper. Do you think copper is going to have a run next? Yes or no? A lot of people are talking about copper and how there's going to be like a global shortage. And maybe think of this, the question in the chat, think of the poll, like a macro kind of timeline thing, next like 2 years or so. Because a lot of people are like, oh, we don't produce enough copper. We're going to have to produce as much copper as we produced in the last 18,000 years in the next 5 years, or some crazy metric like that. Cash Joke said, yeah, buddy. Tisha said, but buying high and pulls back, then you'd be trapped. If you bought PAX G when gold was low and nobody talking about it, then it's easier to handle a pullback and you can still sell for profit. Cash Joke said, sold chopping up my account this week and I can't take profit to save my life. Derek said, yes, they announced the end of the penny. There will be a copper shortage next. Was there even any copper in the modern penny? I think they just did that because it was like costing like $1 per penny or something stupid, which is kind of hilarious. That's like the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world, was the penny manufacturing. All right. Yeah, NASDAQ looks good. I'm excited about this. We'll see if we actually end up getting a pullback sooner than this. I'm going to get rid of this arrow, and I'll just put these words here, I suppose. Or whenever. Negotiation. Okay, so right now, they're like, Greenland is crazy. We need Greenland right now. And then everybody dumped, and then Trump was like, we have a framework of a plan. And then the EU was like, we're going to sell U.S. securities. And he was like, you better not. So maybe we get one of these come Monday, Tuesday. And then they're like, we came to a deal. We came to a final agreement or something like that. I don't know. Just throwing speculation out there. Tom Saltzgold said, yes, I've been buying a decent amount of FCX because I think copper and palladium going to run. Cup and handle. Check it out now. Let's go check it out. Check it out now. FCX. I got in trouble for showing that little 2-second clip of Saturday Night Live on my stream yesterday. I was like, I got an email and it literally said like, your video is blocked. And I was like, whoa. I've never seen that before. Like, I've seen like you have revenue sharing and stuff for like if I listen to something or whatever, I can cut that out or whatever. It just said your video is blocked. And I was like, damn. Okay, fine. Jeez. So I had to cut that part out. Tom Selleck said, and robbers, I was joking about sell it all. Palladium cup and handle. Okay. Palladium cup and handle. Not FCX for cup and handle. Okay. Well, we're looking at FCX first. 6041. This is definitely number go up. And we do like number go up. Not sure if you guys were aware. So I'm going to go to higher time frame, actually. I'm going to do, Derek said, but it was a reaction video. No, it was not. I don't think that really matters either. That's why I'm like, reaction content gets really good views, and I feel like I could do that. It's fun. I've done some stuff in the past with like doorbell cam footage and stuff like that. But I'm so scared that I'm going to like react to something and then they're just going to claim my entire video revenue. And what am I going to do? Be like, oh, it's fair use because I said, LOL, look at that guy in my video. Like, that doesn't even sound convincing to me. You know what I mean? Okay. You definitely see like a trend shift here. I like this double bottom a lot. That's beautiful. And then you're getting a slightly more bullish, what do I call it? Trajectory. So you see it already, and we saw this with silver. Are you going to start to do more and more angle? Maybe the next one's like that. And then maybe the next one's like that. You know what I mean? Like, we literally watched silver do this. Let me go back to silver just to show you guys. Look at silver. Silver had a flat and then higher and then higher, and now it's just going straight up. That's how it like, it seems fast, especially when you're looking at the weekly. And that's because it is. Like I said, silver's up 100% in the last 2 months. If you would have bought silver 2 months ago, you put 10 grand in silver 2 months ago, you would have $20,000 right now. So the exponential growth is very, very apparent, especially hindsight. And you can literally just like measure each point and see the parabolic growth. So that's pretty cool to see on FCX as a possible idea. And you're obviously just getting a huge pump right now. I don't remember. Is this crater? Nope, that's 2014, 2015. So that's really old. So this is a weekly thing. Weekly time frame thing. I don't know. Is that going to take forever to play out, or is this just going to explode like this? Let me try to do... We're on the 4. Let me go back to the daily. Yeah, there's really no trend right now. Is it just going to go straight up? No harm, no foul, go. I just knew you were in it and like to open my trades, folks I like. Okay. What was the other thing that we were going to look at? Palladium. Palladium XPD. Ooh. I mean, this is just satisfying right here. The pullback explosion. Let's go to the weekly. I mean, look at that. This is what cracks me up. Because people will see crypto. They'll watch crypto do this. You get a launch. You get exponential growth. Oh my gosh, flavor of the week. Everybody loves it. And then, and because it's like, if you zoom out like this, it looks like it's a little bit close to that. They're like, oh my, LOL, what a scam. You bought that scam? What company coin are you talking about, robbers? I'm confused now. Okay. So this is pretty cool to see. This crazy monstrous pullback and then the explosion to the upside. It's at 2010 right now. Its current all-time high is 34.41. Let's see if we get above that. What do we think it's going to? Palladium? Kazark said, I connect the peak from 1998 to touch the peak of 2011, and it brings real close to where we are on silver 3D time frame. 3-day time. I don't have access to 3-day. I can do weekly, which is like 5 or 7-day. It's 7-day. I lied. It's not 5 at all. 3-day time frame. How do you even connect that on the 3-day? There's 1980. Okay, you said you connect the peak from 98 to touch the 2011. 98. Where the hell's 98? Right there? Okay, I understand now. To 2011. Okay, got it. Bam. We're above it. Ooh, we're above it. Look at that. That's crazy. My crazy guess for silver's next top is $145. Look at that. Oh my gosh, dude. The weekly is just a monster. An absolute monster. These beautiful triangles playing out. Silver's so much fun. I remember when crypto was like silver back in the day. Those were the days. That's pretty sick. Thank you for that, Casho. Yeah, we're sitting above that bad boy. Let me change the color because I feel like I always keep everything green and then it gets confusing later. We'll make it purple. So we are currently, are we going to pull back and retest that? Would be interesting. We're above 100 still, man. I can't believe we just smashed past 100. We're going to have support there probably. Dude, watch silver go to 1,000. That would be so insane. Mr. Robert said, ooh, the rare earth play I was running. I thought you said you were in at 15, which is when I started bringing the idea up here. Giovanni said, sheesh. Tom Scott said, oh, I'm still buying ooh every week. Nice. Okay. We looked at silver and a bunch of other stuff. We looked at the DXY, NASDAQ, S&P 500, Fractal 3.0. Absolute beauty. We got our pullback. Are we in for our bounce and continuation? Now, this fractal does end like February, March. So, and it's, I mean, this is played out perfectly so far. Look at that. Like, identical. That's pretty crazy. That's impressive, man. So, even if it doesn't play out the rest of the way, for the most part, it looks good. I'm proud. Bitcoin dominance, 59.83. Hopefully this thing continues the downside. Bitcoin itself, 89,549. We got news. Let's go check really quick. Fear and greed. Crypto fear and greed index, 25. Yesterday we were at 24. Today we're at 25. Extreme fear, once again. Now, we talked about this. I went to, if you go to max, you can see we have a big chunk below 20. And the last time we had anything remotely this large was April, May, June 2022, and this chunk right here, May 2021 to August of 2021. Now, if you go look at that, May to August 2021, May to August 2021 actually shows you, gosh, all my charts are so messy, I'm so sorry. It's actually this first pullback right here. And then the second one is January through April 2022. Let's see if that's on here at all. January through April. January is like right here through April. So it's kind of right here. It's above 20, which is really interesting. But it is above 20. So I wish I could like zoom in or stretch this out. It's just really hard to see. I don't know. You could make arguments for both scenarios at this point, it seems. Both of them are right around extreme fear on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, so it's getting spicy. It is getting spicy. There's people pointing out the fact that they think we're going to 20K now, which is, I think it's insane. But, you know, we've seen crazier in crypto, that's for sure. All right, news articles. We got the news segment. I can't believe how wrong this poll was. That's really funny. Let's see. Tom Self-Scott said, you don't like it anymore. Mr. Robert said, fair. It's a terrific long play. Tom Self-Scott said, and yes, most of my ooh is at 15. Mr. Robert said, I only think there's going to be a handle on the cup. It just formed. I'll buy again after the handle plays out. I see a cluster of effery on the far left of the chart and the price as well, and just wanted to see if that all plays out into a March dip. Jordan mentioned 30K. I feel like that's crazy numbers. Like, to me, I feel like 70K is like a deep pullback for Bitcoin. What was my bottom call? We have Justin Makachek at 85,177. I believe he lost already. So far, Tishu is in the lead for his crypto winter bottom at 79K. So far, the closest we've gotten is about 89K, or 80,900. My guess is 75 for crypto winter. Philly's guess is 75 as well, and then Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said 71 for crypto winter. Last bear was 15K. Dream Tanks said 53. So last bear market, I'm pretty sure we just touched the top, or we went a little bit lower. So the argument for 20, I think, is insanity. If anything, maybe like 60. 60 would be like really pushing it based on all those metrics. And if you go pullback percentage, it's probably not even close to that. But who knows? Let's see. We pulled back about 75%. Wow. Okay, so what's 75% from up here? Maybe it would be that low. 30K? Okay. So 30K is not batshit crazy. That's good. I feel like pulling back to 70K makes sense. We touched 69, 70K back here. That was like our Pico top. We established a pretty hard ceiling of resistance, turned support right here at 70K. So I don't know. I feel like 70K would be really, really strong. And what's Bitcoin's cost basis for mining right now as well? It's never gone below that. Oops. I don't know. There's too many numbers. I feel like everyone's getting way too entrenched in this bearish ideology. And I'm not trying to sit here saying we're going bull market tomorrow. I do think we are in a bear market. I don't think it's a 12-month traditional bear market, but so far I've been wrong on that timeline. Tishu said, you see 30K is possible. I mean, it's all possible. When Bitcoin was at like 60K last bull market, it wicked down to 8K on Binance US. So 8K is possible. It all depends on liquidity, order books, volume, and what exchange you're on. All right, let's move on. Bitcoin 89,586 and 58 cents. News article. This one just cracked me up. How technical analysis works. Lion documentary. Yeah. Antelope documentary. Oh no. This is such a good post. Spot the difference between these two pictures. Market cap of stores of value. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, crypto 3 trillion. Precious metals 12 trillion. 2026. Crypto 3 trillion. Precious metals 40 trillion. That's insane. No way Grandpa lets it get to 30K. I agree. Tishu said you see 30K as possible, and we could see 60 to 70K like you said. Go to a new all-time high and then see 30 to 40. Who the heck knows? I mean, it's all possible. I personally will just go out on a limb and say I think 30K is insane. And if I end up being wrong, then I end up being wrong. But if I'm right, then I'm going to look like a huge dick, and I'm going to be a huge dick as well. Because that's what the ladies like. And that's the only reason I do anything. I'm just kidding. All right, Mark Chadwick posted, every major crypto bull market starts the same way. Gold runs first, then Bitcoin, then alts outperform everything. 2017, gold 30%, Bitcoin 1900%, alts 10 to 50x. 2021, gold 40%, Bitcoin 600%, alts outperformed Bitcoin. Gold is still running. Crypto hasn't even started. We know what happens next. I love it. Now, what did I see recently? There's like some crazy deflation happening via Trueflation. Let me actually look it up. Trueflation, which is, I believe it's crypto specific. Get started for free. Do I literally have to make an account? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Continue with Google. I'm gonna give it access to one of my Google accounts. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sign up for free. Wow. Help us. No, thank you. All right. Bam. Trueflation free. It is 1.21%. U.S. government reported rate is 2.7%. So Trueflation, I don't think it's ever been this low. Maybe it has in the past, like way back when, but it's 1.21%. We are actually at risk of deflation at this point, which I think is a lot scarier than inflation. So there's something to be said about that for sure. And with that, I think that that is basically signaling, hopefully, a ISM Manufacturers Index expansion rather than contraction, which is what we're looking for the business cycle. Right here. This bad boy is at 47.9. The next report is February 1st or February 2nd. That's huge because that's coming up. We have what? 8 days? 8 or 9 days? I think it's February 2nd because the 1st is on a Sunday. So February 2nd, we get the ISM Manufacturing PMI release. And if this is above 50, then there's a good chance that the market's going to explode. If it's above 55, that's even better. 55, I think, is our go-to for like the golden bull. So we really got to keep an eye on that. I will say the last time that we had good data from this was 2021. This was 2021. Ever since then, we have been below. We've been in contraction with 2 failed attempts to break above. And I bet you if you did the math or checked it out, those 2 failed attempts probably correlate with Bitcoin tops. We got March 2024 and January 1st, 2025. That's crazy. March 2024, January 1st, 2025. Where's March? March 24, January 2025. Wow. Wow. So those 2 spikes in the ISM Manufacturers PMI are Bitcoin tops. The only anomaly is the most recent one. This one right here. That is, I'm going to call it July 2025. So let's go see. July 2025. Oh, that's actually a low point. Interesting. Okay. So like all of this right here was that Bitcoin top. I don't know. It's interesting data for sure. All right, let's go back to the... Oh God, what have I done? Oh, thank God. What? I don't know what just happened. The chart looked really weird. I was scared. All right, 4-hour time frame. Bitcoin kind of turning green here. That's exciting. 89, 656, and 24 cents. The liquidation heat map looks completely different to what it normally looks like. Tishu said, who the heck knows? What do you think about this? We got a Reddit chart. Is it going to make everything dump? What, the ISM Manufacturing PMI? Going into expansion? What just happened? I just accidentally did something in the chat and I don't... Okay, channel activity. That's weird. Okay, I got it. Figured it out. Reddit. Okay, 18-year real estate cycle. I actually like this. I've seen this in passing. Escalating land prices, We got deep recession 55 to 58, 73 to 76, 91 to 94, 2009 to 2012, 2027 to 2030. That kind of correlates 27 to 2030. So that after 2026 and then 2032 is supposed to be the bad time. So I guess it does kind of differentiate from that a little bit. And then we got midterm recession 62, 82, 2002, 22. Midterm peak 20, 2000, 2020, 60 and 80. You are here. Winner's curse 1953, 71, 89, 2007, and 2025. Cycle peak 2026, 2008. Interesting. Okay. I mean, personally, I would be okay with this because then I'm pretty sure I'll be able to buy a fucking house, which I'm excited about. But I don't think real estate's gonna collapse. I really don't. I genuinely, I'm at a point now where I think that they're just gonna continuously print. When was the last time we saw any kind of recessionary pullback thing? We went 2000.com bubble, 2008, so 8 years later, global financial crisis, which I believe was spawned by the housing crash. And then after that, 8 years after that was 2016, nothing happened. 2017, nothing happened. 2018, nothing happened. 2019, we had the pandemic. They printed so much money that I think that they printed so much money that they know now. They're like, oh, we 10x'd the monetary supply, but the cost of goods did not increase by 10x. So we can just arbitrage that ROI. It's easier for us to not have to go through a dot-com bubble and a recession and a housing crash and a financial crisis if we just play this political theater and print like crazy. But we can call it different things. We can print here and call it that. We can print there and call it that. We can print there and call it that. And we can print there and call it that. And then no one will really know until like 10 years later. They'll be like, hey, the money supply actually got way bigger back then because inflation is a meme. That's my opinion. I don't know. I like this chart though. If we do go into a deep recession from 2027 to 2030, then whoever made this is a genius. I thought that's an orgasm. All right. Next, this one cracked me up. We got Donald Trump posting on X, actually, some Amazon Melania movie thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my idea. I've said it on stream a bunch of times. I said, I bet you if we put cameras in the White House and just filmed everything and like full on reality TV filmed the White House, like Big Brother, kind of like Rock of Love junk, the amount of people that would tune in to watch that would pay off our national debt. I'm genuinely convinced that would happen. So the fact that they're making a movie cracks me up. I thought that was interesting. President Trump says mortgage rates just hit a 3-year low despite Fed Chair Jerome Powell being wrong all along. I like that he ran. That's cute. 6.9 trillion UBS to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading to clients. Hell yeah. Binance founder CZ predicts Bitcoin will enter a super cycle this year. I mean, I feel like he's got all the money in the world. What reason does he have to say these things? You know what I mean? Somebody with an ego his size isn't going to say something where he thinks he's wrong. I think he truly believes that we might be entering a super cycle this year. So it's going to be exciting if we do. $150 million worth of crypto shorts liquidated in the past 60 minutes. That was 8 hours ago. Bitcoin reclaimed 91K. That was also like 8 hours ago. We have since lost that. We're currently sitting below 90. We can hardly hit 90. Binance considers bringing back stock trading, the information reports. That'll be interesting. Intel crashed 17.5% today. Gourmet Brand said, what's up, all? What's going on, Gourmet Brands? Cheers. Happy Friday, my friend. Today is DCA day. It is Friday. None of us have to go to work tomorrow. Unless you do. But I don't. So cheers. And if you do, then cheers to that as well. Let's all make some money. Mr. Roberts said the real estate chart is the one Jason Pizzino uses all the time. Okay. I like Jason Pizzino, actually. Jason Pizzino is one of the few crypto people I will not talk crap about. I respect him, and I've never really seen him say or do something that irked me. who's the other guy? There's I think the House of Crypto. I think House of Crypto is the channel name. Hold on. House of Crypto. Yeah, House of Crypto. Love this guy's channel. This is a great channel. I think he's Australian or something. He's got an accent that's very very easy to listen to. So check him out if you haven't already. 297,000 subscribers. Absolute legend. Great channel. Great insight. But like I said, the only people who I watch religiously are All in Crypto and Tyler S. Tyler S is more like I'm on my way home and it's just funny to listen to and good copium. All in Crypto is good for like news, daily updates, and stuff like that. What if I said Rip Jordan? Yeah, I miss the streams, man. He's got to go back to streaming. Silver reaches $100 for the first time in history. Let's go check on silver. It's been a minute. 7.38% on the day, currently trading at $103.26. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Speaking of copper earlier, I have been looking at copper because it's cheap. I have a little 1 pound flat of copper, and it's like a proper minted bar, but they have the trapezoids, which look like this. And I wanted one. I was like, I think I'm gonna buy some of those because I like the trapezoid. It's mentally satisfying. I want to touch it like they have it in the movies, and these are like the gold bars. And it's just, I don't know, there's something about it mentally where I'm like, I want that. I was looking the other day, and there was a ton of them for sale. I looked yesterday, and they were all gone. So there's a couple on there now, but nowhere near the quantity that was there 2-3 days ago. So I don't know what's going on with copper, but people are scooping it up. Kind of freaked me out. I don't want any now. Not the trapezoid because it's overpriced, but I did want one. I was looking. Marty Party posted U.S. Central Bank balance sheet January 23rd. Looks ready for quantitative easing. I agree. President Trump withdraws his Board of Peace invitation to Canada's Prime Minister Mike Carney. That's hilarious. What did he say? Is withdrawing invitation regarding Canada's joining. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, he said, what did he say? Oh, he didn't say it in here. He said like they opted for China's help or something, and China will eat them alive or something like that. Kobayashi later posted, the Bank of Japan is offloading its balance sheet. The Bank of Japan's government bond holdings fell to 48% of the total, the lowest in 8 years. This percentage has declined 7 points since 2022 peak. The Bank of Japan has reduced its monthly JGB purchases from 5.7 trillion yen in mid-2024 to 2.9 trillion yen currently under its quantitative tightening program. Furthermore, purchases are expected to decline further to 2.1 trillion yen per month in early 2027. Meanwhile, foreign holdings of JGB fell to 12% of total, near the lowest since 2019. This means both the Bank of Japan and foreign investors are reducing their JGB exposure simultaneously. Japan's bond market remains under serious pressure, which allegedly, I think, is probably what caused this right here. So maybe we get a bull market when Japan kind of dust settles. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Timeline that no one's really paying attention to. Breaking, the U.S. Treasury budget deficit surged 67% year over year in December to $145 billion. However, the first 3 months of fiscal year 2026, the deficit fell 15% year over year to $602 billion, the lowest start to a fiscal year since 2023. This comes as the government revenue rose 13% year over year to a record $1.23 trillion. This was boosted by tariff revenue, which surged 333% year over year to $90 billion. At the same time, government expenditures increased to 2.2% year over year to a record of $1.83 trillion, with interest costs jumping 15% year over year to $355 billion. Health and Human Services, Social Security, and debt interest combined totaled $1.27 trillion, representing 69% of total spending. Still, the U.S. government is on track for near minus $2 trillion deficit this fiscal year. Deficit spending far too high. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said copper isn't precious. I don't think it's going to take off. There's too much of it. So the argument that I've seen is that we're using so much and you can only recycle so much of it. like I don't know, the quality goes down every time you recycle it or something like that. I'm just reiterating what I've heard. I'm not saying I believe this. And that we're gonna have to produce or mine basically the past like couple hundred years within like the next decade, and we're incapable of that because of how long it takes to set up new mines and stuff like that. I don't know. That's the argument that I've heard, and I like it because I have some copper. So next we've got Intel stock falls over 14% after reporting Q4 2025 earnings, now on track for its largest daily decline since August 2024. I'm pretty sure their earnings were really good as well, like higher than expected, so this is a surprise. Silver prices officially rise above $100 an ounce for the first time in history, now above 40% in 2026. We have all witnessed history today. That's pretty crazy. Retail investors are piling into gold and silver funds at an accelerating pace. Individual investors posted a $95 million net inflow in the largest gold ETF, gold, on Tuesday, the largest since October 2025. By comparison, the largest daily inflows in 2025 were in October and April at $150 million. Retail investors have net bought gold for almost every single day in 2026. As a result, retail net inflows are up to $370 million year to date. Meanwhile, silver-linked ETFs saw a record $922 million of retail inflows over the last 30 days. The retail rush into precious metals is accelerating. That's crazy. Margin financing in China is up to a record $390 billion. This has officially surpassed the 2015 stock market bubble peak of $380 billion. Margin debt has nearly doubled since the end of 2024, driven by risk appetite from retail investors. As a percentage of free float market cap, margin trading is up to 5%, near the highest since the 2015 crash. By comparison, this percentage hit 9.5% in 2015 when it doubled in just a few months. Additionally, margin debt as a percentage of daily turnover is up to 12%, matching the highest level in 11 years. Chinese investors are borrowing to buy stocks at record levels. That's crazy. That's just as bad as gambling at that point. Tishu said I voted no for copper. All right, should we do another poll? Let's do another poll. Actually, this is interesting. We have 11 votes. Let's end the current poll. I asked you guys, do you think copper is going to have a run next? 64% of you guys said yes. 36% of you guys said no. We got a total of 11 votes, so that's actually a pretty good share. Do you think... All right, let's do this. Where do you think silver is going next? Let's do 90. Let's do 125. Let's do 150. And let's just do 100 consolidation. Chop. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Where do you think silver's going next? We got $90, $125, $150, or $100 consolidation chop. Let's continue. Intel extends its decline to minus 17% on the day, now on track for its biggest daily drop in nearly 3 years. The U.S. government's position in Intel is down $4 billion today. Damn. You know what? That might actually be a dip worth buying, maybe. That's interesting. Elon Musk says the biggest company in the world in 10 years from now will be worth as much as $100 trillion. That's 22 times the current size of Nvidia. I believe that. I think that modern monetary theory is going to prove true, and they're just going to print. And because we're all so used to going to work, having to work for our money, that's what we're going to keep doing. And they're going to find out come up with some program to like distribute the money evenly every month, and you got to work. You got to work to earn your keep. And that's just going to be the way that we live, because that's the way that we've lived for a couple hundred years already. Saeed said silver will reach 115, then consolidate. Let's actually put that on the chart, Saeed, because I like that theory. We're going to put that on the chart. 115. 115. And I'm going to write right here. Bam. Saeed's target before consolidation. All right, I like that. So let's see what plays out, it does seem viable. I like it. Bitcoin is up 0.02% on the day, currently trading at 89,615 and 48 cents. Next, President Trump says Canada is against the Golden Dome being built over Greenland, and they have voted in favor of doing business with China. Trump says China will eat them up. This is what I was referring to earlier. HODLer posted the fact that natural gas, one of the most important commodities in the world, just casually rose 70% in 5 days. Is a perfect testament to how incredible this market truly is. Number go up, guys. Money. There's so much money in the world. It is now finding its way. It has trickled down and it has found its way into the pockets, I guess, of retail and institutions that are just really good investors. Or maybe they're just really adamant on investing. They don't want to keep their money in that failing fiat money. U.S. margin debt. Saeed said, I feel honored. Thanks. Absolutely, man. I like putting people's guesses on the charts. I feel like that's the best way to win. Get everyone's input, realistic input. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's wrong, or like, I think that this is correct and that you're not right for this reason. I feel like everyone is right. And maybe not 100%, but percentages. We can have 10 people right 10%, and then that's 100%. You know what I mean? So I like getting everyone's input, and we all learn from each other. I feel like that's the way to do it, man. Everybody wants to be working against somebody, some grand enemy and whatever. They don't want us working together. They want us working apart because it's a lot easier to control us and manipulate us when we're not a team. A team and ensemble is a lot more intimidating and can get a lot more done than just one individual. U.S. margin debt surged 11. Whoops, didn't mean to click on that like that. Surged 11.3 billion in December to a record 1.23 trillion. This marks the 8th consecutive monthly increase. Over this period, margin debt has risen 375 billion, or 44%. Meanwhile, margin debt growth is now outpacing the S&P 500 gains by 20 percentage points year over year, the widest gap since the 2020 meme stock frenzy. Interesting. Excluding 2021, this marks the largest divergence since 2007, when this metric hit 50 percentage points. A lot of interesting dates there. We got 2020, which is before the 2021 meme stock frenzy, and then we've got 2021 and 2007. I'm just saying. It's interesting. A lot of interesting dates. Asset owners are the only winners in this market. Own assets or be left behind. This is the way, guys. We got gold, we got silver, copper, crude oil, natural gas, gasoline. Number go up. We like number go up. Grayscale filed an S1 registration for a BNB ETF. CZ is very excited about that. BNB Chain's 2025 upgrades improved performance, fees, and reliability, setting the stage for its 2026 roadmap. Bitwise debuts B-Pro on the New York Stock Exchange, blending Bitcoin, gold, and mining stocks to hedge currency debasement. Very cool. Eric Trump says USD1 has surpassed PayPal's PYUSD, calling it a major milestone for building the future of global money. I think stablecoin is probably the most lucrative thing you can have. Because it's like having an insurance company, or what else do you just give? Like having a bank that only has savings accounts. You just receive money, and you give them a little token that's like, yes, this is worth $1, and then you can take their money and you can go play with it in like government bonds or high yield savings, whatever you want to do, and you just make money. It's so ridiculously lucrative because the people just come to you and give you money. I don't know. It's interesting. Coinbase now lets users borrow up to 1 million against their CB ETH without unstaking or selling. Available in the US, excluding New York, because people in New York have no freedom. Congratulations. $146.6 million liquidated in the past hour, with shorts accounting for $143.4 million of total direct positions. Damn. I think that's literally what this is. I think there was way too many shorts, and they just went boop. Just like that. That's why you don't play with too high a leverage. You will lose your money that fast. It's very scary. Circle minted 500 million USDC. Very cool. Alert. Bitcoin may be entering early bear phase as on-chain profitability turns negative for the first time since 2023, with analysts flagging 80 to 84K as key Bitcoin support. Interesting. South Korean prosecutors are investigating after 48 million worth of seized Bitcoin went missing in an alleged phishing attack discovered during a routine asset inspection. So here's what I'm going to guess. I'm totally speculating here. Let's say I'm a South Korean, like, I don't know, secretary or whatever. I work in this field where I have access to this Bitcoin. And I have, like, direct access to it. Then I go home and I tell my wife, I'm like, listen, I need you to go to the public library, use this VPN, send this email to this email address. And that's the phishing email. And then I'm back at work the next day and I'm like, oh, we got an email. And I click on the phishing address and then all the Bitcoin's drained. And I'm like, oh no, I need to tell my superiors. And I go to my superiors. I'm like, I accidentally clicked on a malicious link and all of the Bitcoin is gone. And then they're like, what? You're fired. And then I flee to the United States with all of my Bitcoin. What is it? My $48 million worth of Bitcoin. And I just live there with $48 million forever. Total speculation, but that's an easy way to steal a bunch of money from South Korea. If you work there. Not financial advice. This is all a parody. CZ says he has a strong feeling Bitcoin could enter a super cycle in 2026. Very cool. I thoroughly enjoy the recreation of the stonks meme. I don't know if you guys are aware of what that is. Hold on, let me look it up. They straight up just like ripped this off. Right here. This is the stonks meme. They did the stonks meme. They did CZ so dirty. Come on. That's messed up, bro. That's so messed up. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. What do we got? Bitcoin 89,646 and 37 cents. Vitalik Buterin says 2026 should be the year of reclaiming computing self-sovereignty by moving away from centralized platforms toward privacy-first open source tools. I have not seen him in a very long time. I feel like I used to see him all the time. Maybe it's because crypto is kind of poo-poo right now. And also my X feed is just trash. That's probably why. Polymarket traders are pricing a 99% probability that the Fed keeps rates unchanged at its January meeting. I have not Polymarket. I have Kalshi bets that they will change rates. Both of them were really, really cheap. And if they change rates at all, I'm going to make a very large amount of money. If they don't, then I lose very little money. But it's a degenerate gamble. I did it for fun. And you guys will hear about it, I'm sure, if I do win. Because I'll be like, oh my gosh, I won a bunch of money. Because when was the last time anybody made a profit in crypto, you know? Tokenized U.S. Treasuries surpassed 10 billion in total value. Very cool. Gold has been in a parabolic move for 28 months straight. Bitcoin catch-up rally could be insane. Now, I like that he said the word could. He's not definitively saying this is going to happen. I like that. Imagine multi-million dollar Bitcoin. That'd be crazy. Gourmet said, I got in on the Fed bet. Great odds. I know, dude. It's crazy. Like, you put $5 in and you win, like, what is that, $500 or $5,000? It's kind of crazy. I think it's $500. You put $5 in. If they change rates at all, you basically 100x your money. It's crazy. I'm like, why wouldn't I just throw a couple bucks at it? It seems silly not to. I've been researching this for months now, and now I decided to publish my findings here. This one was very interesting. Now, I know we're talking about copper. This is not to try to FOMO copper. This is a concept this guy published. He feels like Bitcoin trails copper by 15 weeks. And I'm not going to read all of it, meaning we will hit a new all-time high in a few weeks and keep going up. I really like all of his reasoning. If you guys want to go check it out, the guy's name is Cafe Satoshi, Caffe Satoshi on X. Go check it out. But the chart was very, very attractive. We got a beautiful run. Bitcoin 2021, copper 2021, pullback, copper, climbs up, hump 1, 2, 3, bear, explosion. Hump 1, 2, 3, bear, explosion is what comes next. And that is what copper did. And if we trail it by, what did they say, 15 weeks, then we're getting pretty damn close to go time. So this one was really interesting to me. I'm actually going to repost it because I think it's worthy. Go check it out if you guys want to read the whole thing. Bar chart posted, platinum soars to new all-time high. Hell yeah. Fund managers' cash level plunges to 3.2%, the lowest level in history. People know that holding cash is silly and stupid and dumb. Uranium jumps to highest price since June 2024. The Great Cocoa Collapse continues as prices plunge to lowest price in more than 2 years. Chocolate is going to be cheap. Honestly, this is probably going to bounce soon. I feel like that's what's happened every time we look at bar chart. And they're like, this thing's crazy low, and then it explodes the next day. South Korean stock market has now more than doubled over the last 12 months. Hell yeah, congratulations, South Korea. Indian rupee has fallen to an all-time low against the US dollar. Interesting, very interesting. Silver soars above $100 for the first time in history. Very cool. We love silver being over $100. Lucid jumped 18% on Wednesday. Its best day since July. Circled it on the chart just in case you couldn't see it. Shares are now down only 98% since the 2021 all-time high. For magnified downside exposure, consider the Trader 2X Short LCID Daily ETF LCIZ from Trader ETFs sponsored. Oh, okay, so it's a sponsored chart. So this is for leveraged ETF. I don't know what the heck Lucid is. I'm definitely going to look into it, though. I did not realize it was so beaten down. That's actually quite impressive. US dollar index DXY has fallen to its lowest level in more than 3 months after plunging through its 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average, I think, is what we're keeping an eye on for Bitcoin for a possible recovery. And I think it's approximately, it depends on if you go simple or exponential. Exponential is around 97K, which is literally where we rejected before we plummeted on January 14th. And I think the simple moving average is like above 100K. It's at like 101 or 102 or something like that. So something to keep in mind. I like the idea that we rejected this after an initial try, and now we're building our scaffolding. Maybe we do this, and then we eventually break above it. I don't know. But that also kind of very closely correlates with the copper chart. So it's going to be interesting to watch it all play out. Apple. It's official. Apple has traded red for 8 consecutive weeks. Its longest losing streak since May 2022. Didn't Berkshire Hathaway, just before Buffett's exit, didn't they sell a bunch of Apple shares and buy Google? And I think that was because Apple gave up on AI, and they literally just like gave money to Google. They're like, you're going to do AI for us. That's what it seems like. Silver soars to $103 for the first time in history. Hell yeah. And US dollar share of global foreign currency reserves have fallen to its lowest level this century. Number go down. Gourmet brands had Lucid luxury electric cars. Oh, interesting. Okay. I have to look into that a little more. Portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is currently down $535 or 53.5%. We have Solana, the best performer, only down $24 or 24%. Worst performers, Aptos, down $75 or 75%. Then we've got the meme coin portfolio, currently down 627, 62.7%. Best performer is Doge, down $95. Worst performer is GigaChad, down $171. Wow. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, currently down. This one's my favorite, and I believe it's the best performer. Is this bugging out? What's happening? I think it's broken. Hopefully the stream's not rugging. Hello? Okay, narrative portfolio down 211 or 42.2% in the red. Best performer here is Tau, which is only down $19 or 19%. Worst performer is VeChain, down $63 or 63%. In case you guys were curious, this portfolio is made of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real world asset coin, and one gaming coin. And it's kind of killing it. And last but not least, we've got the knife catching portfolio. These are all old portfolios. We'll have to build new ones when we start climbing out of this like hole that we've buried ourselves in, essentially. The knife catching portfolio is currently down 463, 46.3%. Is it? Yeah, that's actually really good. This is actually doing better than the narrative portfolio for the first time in a while. Best performer. Best performer's Chainlink is only down $20 or 20%. Worst performer is Avalanche, down $65 or 65%. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Gourmet Brand said, can you look at Bonk? Speaking about memes, yes, I absolutely can, actually. It's been a long time since we've looked at Bonk. I feel like there's always big gaps in between us. Ooh, okay. This is satisfying. So we put this point of confluence here. We got double bottom back here. Beautiful Pico lows. And then we've got kind of a table, little plateau support area right here. And we kind of use that as support from our breakout right here, support continuation. This is the inverse Mothman, I like to call it. And that's currently acting as support. It should be very strong support as well because we've hit it a bunch of times. The volume could be a lot better. Volume's not that great. It was really good right here. It was okay right here. And now it's just back to this crappy level. So I want to see volume increase. Your money flow is negative. You have a red dot on the momentum wave pointing to the downside. You are smack dab in the middle though, so you could consider this a consolidation. You also have a bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI, so that might result in some downside unless you can get back above it anytime soon. Outside of that, technically do have bullish div here. So if you get a reversal on the price, then that will be considered bullish div. And you'll have potential upside out of that. So I would want to stay above this level. If you do lose it, then I suppose your next mediocre support is going to be around 832. Make this a dotted line. We'll see what that plays out next time we take a look. 902 right now. Yeah, it's got the same indecisive wicks as everything else. A lot of buys, a lot of sells. People don't know what they want to do, man. Bitcoin looking a little green right now, 89,686 and 56 cents. Let's see if we get some recovery here. It would actually be very on brand for Bitcoin to just go straight up from here. Maybe even in a couple of days. We got dump, BART, pump, dump, BART, pump, BART, dump, BART, pump, BART, dump. We'll call this whole thing a BART. Pump, dump, pump. It's just non-stop. Like it plateaus and then some big move happens. At least we're getting bigger moves this time. Like this was crazy back here when this was happening. That was scary. November, December, that was awful. That was so crappy. Like the amount of whiplash that like high leverage traders probably experienced. They're probably, no wonder why they're making like mental institutions a thing again. Trump is like, we need to open up psych wards and mental institutions because I really messed up crypto. Mr. Roberts said, I've been trying to get the crankshaft out of a Tyne 4.6cc nitro motor for the last 2 hours, and I finally did it. Can I get an amen? Amen, Mr. Roberts. Cheers to that. I've had an issue with my personal van that I have not figured out yet. And I've been working on it for months. I thought it was the brakes. Change brake pads, not the brakes. I thought it was the bearing, so I changed the entire wheel hub, not the bearing. I thought it was the rotor. I thought the rotor was warped. Change the rotor, not the rotor. It's literally, it's like a scraping, and it gets faster when we accelerate, and it gets slower when we decelerate. When I hit the brakes, though, the noise does not change. So I think it's the CV. So hopefully that's the most expensive one it could be. I've pretty much done the rest of the front end. Cash Oak said belt to ass. It could be a belt. I should do the belt, I guess. Let me do the belt first. You know what? You're probably right. It could be the belt. We're doing the belt. We're going to do the belt. Cash Oak, if it's the belt, I'm not joking. If it is the belt, I'm going to send you $10. Like, I'm going to change the belt, I think, tomorrow. Let me text my fiance. Make sure I change the van belt tomorrow. Because I think I would cry tears of joy if that fixed the problem. It's such a dumb problem. I'm saying robbers put belt to ass. Oh, well, too bad. I'm assuming that you're talking about the serpentine belt because that's definitely a possibility. It could also be like a water pump or something. I'm hoping it's not something on the serpentine belt. That would really suck. But we were getting a little squeak from the serpentine belt the other day, so it only happened for a brief second, and it was raining, so I'm assuming that's why. But who knows? It's a cheap fix, so I'm gonna do that first. All right, guys. Silver's up 7.38%. It's really just lingering at 103.26. Probably gonna stay there. I asked you guys earlier. We got 6 votes. I said, where do you think silver is going next? We're going to end the poll. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Share the stream. We're trying to get the 2,000 subscribers before April. We just recently crossed above 1,300, so I'm very excited about that. I asked you guys, where do you see silver going next? The options available to you were 125, 100, 90, and 150. 67% of you guys said 125. 33% of you said 100, consolidation chop. Excuse me, we'll see what happens. My favorite things right now is this this stupid poll. I asked yesterday what hits first, $5,000 gold or $100 silver. We only got 5 votes, but four people said $5,000 gold, and one person said $100 silver. So whoever that one person is that said $100 silver, absolute giga chad. They went against the grain and they won. That's what I'm trying to do with my stupid Kalshi bets. So wish me luck on that. If you guys want to be a degenerate gambler like me, go check out Kalshi. There is a referral link in the description. If you sign up and start betting, you deposit and start betting there. We both get $10 when you use that referral link, so help support the channel. The CoinMarketCap Fear and Greed Index is at 35, which is fear. Yesterday we were at 34, so we went up 1. Very cool. Last week we were at 50, which was neutral. I thought that was odd. Like, Bitcoin did a little bit good for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh my gosh, we're out of fear. We're in greed now. Everyone's greedy. And I was like, that was really fast. It like instantly went into greed, which is why it's neutral, because it very shortly after that fell back into fear. So it ended up about balancing out in the middle. Mr. Robber said, LOL, I did want to beat the thing, but level heads prevailed. I got the shaft out without damaging anything. I had a carjack scare the other day when I was trying to do, and it was the dumbest thing that I was working. I did an oil change, which I think is what caused the issue with the jack. And I had jack stands. If I did not have jack stands, the car definitely would have fell and crushed stuff underneath it, like the oil catch basin and stuff. But I had it jacked up, and I had the floor jack like raised, and it just like fell over onto the floor jack, or onto the jack stand. It was crazy. I could have lost my finger. I was like, that makes me so mad when that happens. But that's why we have jack stands. Super Cool Album said, so what's your prediction now with Bitcoin? That's a great question. My prediction now. What time frame are you looking for, Super Cool Albums? Because I got a bunch of them. I'm hoping. Let me show you. This might not be the answer that you want. I like this fractal, but it's kind of crazy. It goes up to a ridiculous number. So ignore that fractal. I'm going to make it more transparent. I'm just trying to find a clean chart that you can actually look at. Right now, Fear and Greed, right here, where we're at, is very much similar to right here. So I would not be surprised if we saw one more rise, a very slight higher high, maybe to 130, and then we go into a bear market. That would not surprise me. I'm not saying that's going to happen, though. As far as I'm concerned, because we've crossed below the, is it the 50? The 50-week exponential moving average. We are technically in a bear market right now. So further downside, if we are in a proper 12-month long bear market, or even if we're not, even if we're in a shorter or longer bear market, my Pico low for the bear market is about 70K. My crypto winter guess is 75. And that's if we're not in like a full-on 12-month long. But if we are in a 12-month long, then probably 70K. That's a guess, not a financial advisor. I don't know. We might go up from here. We might go down past 70K. I have no clue. Gourmet said your Kalshi link gave $25. It matched the 25 I put in. Ooh, okay, that's huge. I had no idea. That's really cool. I don't know if I've gotten anything from that yet. Bitcoin 89,668 and 87 cents. Let's go back here. 89,657. Yeah, we're chilling. Honestly, I hope all these people that talk about like catch-up trades and stuff like that are right, and that Bitcoin just has an explosive move eventually. So far, this new, it's very new, but this is one of my favorites so far. The copper 15-week trail, because it lines up very nicely. I'm also keeping a close eye on the business cycle, the ISM Manufacturers PMI. That release comes out February 1st, February 2nd. And if we're above 50, then we will be in expansion for the first time since the 2021 bull market. This is literally 2021. Keep an eye down here for the date range right here. This is 2020 leading into 2021. We were in expansion. Ever since then, we have been in contraction, and Bitcoin has not functioned properly. Let me show you TechDev. I think TechDev is the one who pointed this out, and everyone ever since then has just been talking about TechDev's posts. And TechDev does not post a lot, like at all. Very, very rarely see a post from TechDev. The most recent one was January 15th. We got an update. TechDev said, we're at the point in the business cycle where the bullish divergence reversal momentum is decidedly building, which has signaled every one of the major reversals in the last 25 years, including after the 2000.com bubble and the 2008 financial crisis. Since Bitcoin existed, those reversals have triggered its parabolic runs. Bitcoin has a very nice parabola leading into a plateau where, in my opinion, in like a fair valuation plateau, this right here, especially on this chart, looks much more akin to this than any of these big, beautiful lumps. And that's where you could get into the extended cycle diminishing return situation. But to that, I would argue, where's the extended cycle part if that's the case? We still haven't reached the end of the bull market if you're going off of that theory. So we got divergence. We got the ISM Manufacturers PMI, hopefully about to cross over 50, and even better 55. Then we can get into expansion and we can have exponential growth on risk-on assets like Bitcoin. The Russell 2000 is another one that I like to look at. That one's reaching new all-time highs, which is very risk-on, and that's very new. So if that's any indicator to go off of, and Bitcoin should follow very soon. But only time will tell. Mr. Robert said, what if the only Bitcoin video ever needed was buy Bitcoin 12 to 14 months before having and sell 12 to 14 after it? See you in 2 years. Ta-da. I would still live stream every day because we're not only a Bitcoin channel, we also talk about precious metals and stocks, specifically because Bitcoin sucks now. I'm not going to say we pivoted. I will say we've evolved. We've diversified, which is what we should do. I want you guys to grow with my channel. And even if you guys have already grown and you've fully matured, then you guys can watch me grow. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to love and leave you. Bitcoin, $89,700, 59 cents. Hopefully by tomorrow, we are well above 90K. Super Cool Albums said, thank you, my G. Thank you, Super Cool Albums, for stopping by. Happy Friday, my friend. Guys, as always, when Bitcoin and the broader market, silver, gold, stock market, whatever, starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Friday and good night.